Hey guys, it's Phoebe and today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up. Most of the books that I read in August, I read during the BookTube-A-Thon week, which was from the 3rd to the 9th of August, I think. So I read 6 books in that week, so I'm not going to repeat whatever I said, so I'll just leave a link down in the thing below for my BookTube-A-Thon wrap-up video, so you can go and check that out if you want to see which books I read during that week. After the BookTube-A-Thon, I only managed to read 3 books, which is quite bad, but I guess I was in a sort of reading slump after reading 6 books in a week. But it was the Dustlands trilogy by Moira Young. The first book is Blood Red Road. I was supposed to be reading this during the BookTube-A-Thon, but I read 99 Days by Katie Cotugno instead, because when I started this book and got about 20 pages in, I didn't really like the writing style. I found the narration to be a little hard to follow, but I persevered and I made sure that I did finish this book, and at the end I thought that the writing style really did suit the voice of the character, the main character who tells the story. So I was quite happy actually that I continued reading it because they are amazing books. So Blood Red Road is futuristic because humans have completely ruined the world and it's a wasteland. It tells the story of Saba, I hope I pronounced these right, Saba, Lou, her twin, and Emmy, and their father, Pa, who live in this place called Silver Lake, and they haven't ever been out of Silver Lake before until these Ton people come. They are the sort of soldiers of the king, and they take Lou because he's supposed to be special, because Saba and Lou were born in midwinter, and that's supposed to be really special. So they take Lou because the king wants him for a... well, I won't say why he wants him because that might be a bit of a spoiler, maybe. Depends what you class as a spoiler really, but basically they take him away and they kill Pa, and it is Saba's mission to go after him to save him, basically. Now, their mother died giving birth to Emmy, so Saba really dislikes Emmy and is always really mean to her. But obviously now it's only her and Emmy left, so she has to take her along. So they go and they meet one of their parents' friends, Mercy, who Saba decides to leave Emmy with and, while she goes and finds Lou. But Emmy comes and follows Saba and says that I'm coming with you. So Emmy and Saba are walking in the wasteland place when a giant ship thing comes, and they are the Pinchers, so husband and wife, and they pretend to be nice for a while, and then they feed the girls this food that knocks them out, and they take them to this place called Hope Town, where Saba fights in a cage. So it's basically entertainment. All these people are crazy, and Saba will fight with people in a cage, and if she loses 3 times, then she has to walk down the gauntlet, which is terrifying because basically she has to walk down this road, and all the audience who are like high will kill her, basically. But all of the people in Hope Town are controlled by the king, and they're all given this thing called Charl, which makes them go really high and he can control them quite easily. Saba is an amazing fighter and she gets the name Angel of Death because she defeats everyone. Now Saba then meets this boy called Jack, and they just have a strong tie. So you can just feel the tie. Oh, Mercy, back in her little place, gives Saba this thing called a Heartstone. So it's cold against her skin, but once she comes near her heart's desire, it will heat up. So once she sees Jack, it starts warming up, and she's a little confused because she doesn't want to get involved. She wants her full concentration to be on saving her twin. So Emmy and Saba escape with the help of the Freehawks, which are a group of fighters. Well, the name is kind of self-explanatory really. So they help, and Jack is trapped inside his bunker place, and Saba goes and helps saves him. So they all escape and they help Saba to find her twin, and things happen, and they do eventually find Lou, which is good. I really did enjoy this book at the end. I gave it a 4.5 stars out of 5 because it was a little slow at times, but most of it was very exciting and very gripping. The second book that I read was the second book that comes after Blood Red Road, which I read as an ebook, and it is Rebel Heart, again by Moira Young. So in this book, Jack sets off on his own because he has some news to deliver to a friend, and Saba, Lou, Emmy and Tomo, who's the character that gets introduced in Blood Red Road, they go off together to this place called the Big Water, so I'm guessing that just means the ocean. They're travelling across the waste, which is this massive stretch of land which is completely barren, and Saba's haunted by the ghosts of the people who died because of her, and she's just not able to control herself really. She kind of goes a bit loopy. So they find Oriole. I'm so bad at pronunciations. I think it's Oriole, but she gets messages from the stars and she can read the stars or whatever. So she tries to help, but Saba doesn't really accept her help very well. And then Maeve, again, don't know if I'm saying it right, is one of the Freehawks, and she brings news of Jack, who has apparently joined the Tauntaun, and everyone is really angry at him for it. Lou doesn't really like Jack to begin with because he feels that Jack stole Saba from him, but Saba doesn't believe Maeve and thinks that Jack has joined the Tauntaun for a valid reason, so she sets off on her own to help Jack, but the rest of them obviously follow. So they go into New Eden, which is the realm of one of the main Tauntaun people called Dimalo, and they come across this person called Slim, who they plan to hijack and take his travelling vehicle thing. It's a camel with a cart. But he turns out to be a good guy and helps them and tells them about this thing called the Resistance. So there is a resistance against the Tauntaun and Dimalo. So he takes them to Ram and Cassie, where Emmy is taken by Jack, who is a Tauntaun, and Saba, seeing this, believes that Jack has flipped and gone to the bad side and starts to hate him. So Saba thinks that Jack has betrayed her. So when her crow pet called Nero is attacked by a hawk, she jumps off a cliff, sort of in an attempt to kill herself as well, and Dimalo saves her, and she finds herself drawn to him as well as Jack, which is strange because usually the Heartstone only burns for one person, but in Saba's case it burns for Jack and Dimalo. She loses herself in Dimalo, and with the thoughts of Jack betraying her in her head, she sleeps with him. So Dimalo has a vision of restoring the world to what it was before humans destroyed it. So basically he will only keep the strong people in New Eden, so the children from the families who can mate and breed and just produce more strong children, and all of the weak people he will banish from New Eden. So Saba goes back to her people and they find Emmy together. So she realises that Jack is in fact on the good side, and everyone thinks that Jack is dead because he blows up the Resurrection building, which is basically the military camp for the Tauntaun. And Saba finds herself torn between Jack and Dimalo at the end of this book, and her relationship with Lou is on edge, and they just aren't as close as they were anymore because he believes that it is her fault that Emmy was taken because she went after Jack, and he just blames her for everything and just isn't the same really. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. This was my favourite out of in the trilogy because it was just so fast paced and everything just happened in this book and there was no slow parts and I loved it. The last book in the trilogy is Raging Star. So like I said, everyone believes Jack to be dead. He is Saba's secret, and they meet up quite often to discuss their plans of bringing down Dimalo. Jack acts as a rebel spy who goes into the Tauntaun's place and tries to get as much information as he can. But there is a traitor within the group. There is sort of alternating paragraphs with the traitor, and they're like in italics so you know it's the traitor. He sort of knows that Jack is alive and he's trying to get Jack to Dimalo, which will then guarantee him safe passage. Emmy, like Oriole, starts hearing this music and starts getting messages from the stars. Dimalo challenges Saba to defeat him by the blood moon, so she's in quite a rush and under quite a lot of pressure to fulfill this and save all of her friends. And I'm not going to say anything else because the ending, you have to read the series to know what happens in the end, because lots of people compare it to the Hunger Games, and in a way it kind of is, especially the end, but there is something, no, just the ending was just too much, and I read it and I was like, am I reading this right? And I reread it and it was right, and I cried, and no, it was a disastrous ending. Like, it was amazing, but literally, like, why? So I gave this book a 4 out of 5 because, again, like the first book, it was a little slow at times, but still an amazing series and I would definitely recommend it. That is the end of my August wrap-up. Again, just to remind you, if you do want to see the rest of the books that I read in August, please click on the link in the description box below and it will take you to my BookTube-A-Thon wrap-up, which will tell you the books I read in that week. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!